In December of last year, the Wake County Board of Commissioners selected the new chair and vice chair to lead the board in 2015. The chair and vice chair will help to set goals and priorities that best meet the needs of Wake County citizens. So with that said, it's indeed an honor to welcome the chair, James West, and Vice Chair Caroline Sullivan to Wake Up TV. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
First, as we begin another year, we'd like to take an opportunity for viewers to learn a little bit more about you two as individuals and talk about some of the board's primary goals and your focus areas for the coming year. But first, Commissioner West, you've been on the board for 5 years now, and this is your first time serving as chair of this board. Could you share with us a little bit about your professional and public service background?
Thank you so much, Eric. It is indeed an honor to serve as chair of the Wake County Board of Commissioners along with Commissioner Sullivan as the vice chair. I've had a fairly vast amount of experience in terms of my professional work as well as my role as an elected official. I work with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service at NC State University. My last role was Director of County Operations for the state of North Carolina, where our philosophy was to help people to improve the quality of their lives. Then during that interim period, I served on many boards and commissions for the city, such as the Boards of Adjustment, and then was elected and served 6 consecutive terms on the Raleigh City Council, with 4 of those terms being Mayor Pro Tem, and then move into the Board of Commissioners, replacing Commissioner Webb, and very committed to people, and people are my first priority in life.
And Commissioner Sullivan, you've been on the board for 3 years now, and the same thing for you, professional and public service career.
Well, I was born and raised in Charlotte, and upon graduation from UNC Chapel Hill, I moved to Washington, D.C., where I worked on Capitol Hill and for trade associations. I met my husband there. We got married, and when we decided we wanted to have a family, I knew that I wanted to raise my family in North Carolina, so we moved back. I did some consulting work. I had my children, and since I've been back, I've been real involved in issues regarding children and families, especially children with disabilities. And I served on numbers of boards, including serving as the chairman for the State Association, the Interagency Coordinating Council for Children with Disabilities from birth to 5. I've also been involved in my children's schools and has served as NESL tutor and have been very involved in mental health issues.
Okay, Commissioner Sullivan, why did you decide you wanted to become a part of the Wake County Board of Commissioners?
I never really thought about public service per se, but when the opportunity arose, I realized that so many of the things I feel very passionately about really came through county government, local government. The issues with schools and families and early childhood education and disability services and mental health services all have such large county components, and the county is the entity that actually serves these individuals, so it made sense to me.
And for you, Chairman West, obviously you served on the Raleigh City Council, and when there was a call for you to step in to take over for Commissioner Webb, you decided to do so. Why?
Well, as I said, I've always been committed to helping people, and in a sense, I say that I'm working on my soul. And I think that the challenges that we have and the needs that people have, they motivate me and they give me kind of a reason for wanting to get up in the morning and to see the results and to say that I gave it my very, very best. And I meet people on a regular basis telling me how I have helped them, especially when I was on the Raleigh City Council. Sometimes when I may be a little bit down, it's just encouraging, and really it's very fulfilling to help people and have the right reasons for doing that.
As the chair and vice chair, you know that the challenges that we face with an economy that continues to go upward. Having said that, what do you see as the priorities for the year? First, Commissioner Sullivan.
Well, growth continues to be a great benefit to the county and also a great challenge. We're back to those pre-recessionary numbers. We've got 42 new citizens moving into our county every single day. And with all of that growth comes some challenges. Primarily, you think of schools. We are in the middle of a large school building program. So we need to make sure that we provide not only the adequate facilities for our children, our students, and our teachers, but also that we're able to fund the operating expenditures for our schools. Also, with the growth, we need to look at how our citizens move around the county. So that transit discussion has once again begun, and I'm happy to understand that the latter part of this show will be discussing transit and talking about the first community-wide meeting that we had. And hopefully our citizens will get involved in this process, and you'll give them information on how they can get involved.
Okay, and Commissioner West, the same question.
Yes, I think that there's a tremendous interrelationship between the two issues that Commissioner Sullivan mentioned and the area that I see as a top priority. That area is economic development. But I think that we need to kind of re-examine. Recently we had a work session addressing economic development, looking at best practices and some benchmarking around the United States. And our policy is pretty much geared toward work through the Chamber of Commerce as it relates to incentives. But as I look at the potential and the needs in this particular county, we have done a study of hotspots or areas in the county where there are low-income and minority census tracts, and that covers a significant amount of the county in the eastern part of the county, starting with southeast Raleigh. And from that study, we find that we have about 120,000 people at or below the poverty level in this particular county. So I'm hoping that one of the things that we can achieve would be to look at a more diverse economic development policy that would be more tailored and specific, and that would really look at ways that we could increase income opportunities, to look at better job opportunities, workforce development type issues, creating business development opportunities, and create really a entrepreneurial spirit to bring wealth into those communities. And the nexus that I mentioned is that when you talk about education, the environment that family lives in, including the economic development, the means, those are tremendous factors. And I did make a recommendation to the last commissioner board related to looking at what our role as a county would be, looking at issues related to how we can work with municipalities, nonprofits, and et cetera, to begin to address some of these particular issues. We have programs such as human capital development to include the middle class express, the health is capital county, and the social economic factors are a tremendous factor as it relates to improving the quality of life in this county and creating better neighborhoods and providing equal opportunity for all.
Commissioner Sullivan, for 2015, can you tell our viewers what we should be most proud of?
Well, I think Wake County continues to be a model of great local government. We are excellent stewards of the taxpayers' money. Our staff, our professional staff, not only are fiscally responsible, they really do care about the citizens and their lives. Wake County is one of only 40 counties nationwide to have achieved AAA bond rating from all 3 rating agencies. This is a great statement of our financial situation, and it also allows us to do things like borrow money for schools at the lowest possible interest rate. So I think all citizens can be very proud of the way the county is managed currently and in the future.
And Chairman West, can you, for 2015, can you give us some of the achievements that you hope to reach on the horizon for Wake County?
Well, Eric, the first thing, I truly believe that the key is going to be in our citizens and our residents. I truly believe that collaboration, creating a common framework, shared vision, shared values, and collective outcomes are very, very important. For instance, at one of our recent commissioner meetings, we had one of the committees to share things that they are doing in terms of improving the quality of life, health, and vitality in this particular county. So I'm looking at a way to bring everyone together to create synergy and really look at how we can move this county, looking at all the potentials. We get a lot of accolades and we have a lot of talents and strength, and how we can pull those together in a way that we will be fully aligned and that we'll be working toward a common goal. We will respect the different points of view, the diversity of our county, but we will embrace those things and look at how we can kind of pull people together around this shared vision, particularly looking at how we can work with our municipalities, how we can work more effective with the General Assembly, as well as fostering good relationships with our public school system. As Commissioner Sullivan has just said, that is kind of the bottom line in terms of our future and how we create a desired future, as well as our community colleges and just regional things, especially reaching out to surrounding counties, because we are an area of communities, and what happens in one section of this region impacts the other. And just basically to come together to look at how we can take different points of views, different mindsets, and move from not just my mindset to Caroline's mindset, but to our mindset. And that involves everybody in the county and everybody in the region. I know that's kind of lofty, but you have to start at some particular point. But we think that we have a great opportunity to do some great things for our citizens.
And finally, before we go, as the chair, vice chair of the board, what is a great New Year's resolution that you'd like to share with the citizens of Wake County that you hope the board will be able to possibly meet?
As you know, Eric, I'm kind of lofty and philosophical, and so I would say that spiritual infrastructure is something that is very, very important, in addition to the financial and the financial and the physical infrastructure. So I guess talking with Commissioner Sullivan, our joint resolution would be something to this effect, is to create an environment for Wake County and Wake County government for us to be a model of innovation, change, and to be a leader that everyone in this nation will look to in terms of excellent and high-performing government.
Well said. Commissioner West, Commissioner Sullivan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.